Matt, will AD be a Laker before the February 7th deadline?
I think so. I think so, and I think the writing's been on the wall for a long time. You know what I mean? If you just pay attention. I mean, there's always a bunch of noise, but if you pay attention, you know what I mean? You fire your agent and go with Rich. LeBron just goes to L.A. LeBron says, hey, I would love to play with AD. AD acts like he doesn't care about it. He, plays the role like, I'm good, and this is what I'm supposed to do for my city, my team. But at the end of the day, I think, unfortunately, the way the game is played now and the way there's just so much scrutiny on everything, he's wasting his years over there in New Orleans. The West is a powerful conference, and he'll never win a championship in New Orleans. Unfortunately, I hate to say that he won't. You know what I mean? So if you want to win, you got to go team up. You got to do what everyone else is doing, unfortunately. And I think that why not the Lakers?
You know who gave him the best advice? Because a guy that wasted far too many of his years in a location that he was never going to win a title at. Kevin Garnett.
I was just going to say that.
The big ticket. Big ticket said, what I did leaving to go to Boston, I should have did it probably 3, 4, 5 years earlier. He said, this young man, 25 years old, he'll be 26 in March. He's not going to win in the Smoothie Center. That's not going to happen. That's where they play in New Orleans. So I don't care if they change the name to the Jamba Juice Center. It ain't happening. So let's skip. Big men. Big men love L.A. Kareem.
They do.
Shaq. Wilt.
I think little men love L.A.
Yeah,
too,
and
right?
now.
Everybody loves L.A.
Well, even Dwight Howard, that was a disaster.
He loved L.A.
Normally, little men. Normally, little men. Kobe got drafted, so it wasn't like they traded. But all the big men, they come here. If you want to be thought of as a pantheon great, with the exception of Russell, but you come to the Lakers, Skip. It's the writing on the wall, but I just don't see. Normally, what we see, Matt, is that teams don't accommodate these players. They sent Kawhi as far from L.A. as they possibly could. Toronto as far as they can get him away. And what did they do to PG? PG just said, I want to go to the Lakers. It's okay, but we're going to send you halfway between Indiana and L.A., Oklahoma. I just don't see them accommodating him. It's like, oh, you gonna do this to us? Like, you remember the scene in Training Day? When Denzel said, y'all gonna do this to me? Y'all gonna do this?
But they did.
They did. Exactly. Yeah, and he's doing this to them. Skip, I just don't see them accommodating. They got some great pieces. Do they want Kuzma? Do they want Ingram, Lonzo, Zubac? I don't know. But it's just hard for me to believe that they're gonna say, oh, you want out? Okay, here you go, bro. Have a good time. Appreciate your time.
But I also think you got to be careful with the fact that the pieces in return, because not a lot of teams, either he's going to walk for free at some point, or you got to get the best pieces you can. And I think the Lakers have been, for years, I think it's been a plan. They've been gathering great trade pieces. To me, I think everyone is tradable. Obviously, LeBron's not, but the one last person I would hold on is to Kuzma. And then everyone.
No, I would Zubac. I want Zubs.
I like Zubs, but I like Kuz more. Can you imagine Kuz as a third option? You know what I mean? And that's a great third option.
But if you have to give him up,
he got to
go. I mean, I think Jason Tatum said it best, right? I mean, I would trade me for AD too, right? There's no hard feelings. You have to understand, the type of talent it is. But like I said, if there's one person you can hold on to.
So you're still not giving in to this? You heard what Matt
I understand.
told you.
Yeah, I know, Skip. And they still have all these guys on one-year contracts, Lance and Rondo and all these guys and JaVale and Tyson Chandler. And so even if they let these young pieces go and get AD, they're still going to have room to get another, maybe not a max, but a guy that's making a nice chunk of change. I just don't see New Orleans just rolling out the red carpet and say, AD, hey, just go ahead and bounce, bro. Would you do that?
I'm just saying the universe is telling you it's going to happen before the trade deadline. All the signs are lining up. The dominoes are about to all fall toward the West Coast.
I said that in the beginning. Remember when he first signed, I was like, Skip, we going to get it. And now I just don't see it.
Okay. They do have the bargaining chips.
They do.
I still think Lonzo can be a star in this league.
Love Lonzo.
Yep. And I don't think he's ever clicked with Luke. He's never given full effort for Luke and put him somewhere, give him a fresh start in New Orleans. He's a very valuable
You say a star or a good player?
Lonzo?
Yeah.
I think he'd be a star.
Star.
I think he'd be a star.
And again, if you have to, I'm with you on Kuzma, but if you have to give him up, and if you have to give up Zubac, I don't know, if they like Josh Hart, if they like Brandon Ingram, whatever.
They like a couple cheerleaders. Y'all got to go.
You just got to go.
Statues.
You just got to go. Whatever it is. And I still say Anthony needs LeBron even more than LeBron needs Anthony, because Anthony has obviously a dominant game, but he doesn't have a dominant personality. He needs to link up with LeBron. They'd be a good duo because he'll be comfortable letting LeBron be the alpha of it. He won't. There'll be no Kyrie LeBron power struggle. It will work. It's good for LA. Everything is right. It's positioned correctly now. And he needed his agent to make this play for him because
LeBron's best friend.
Yeah, LeBron's best friend because Anthony can't do. It's hard on Anthony to be the bad guy in New Orleans right now, and he's going to have to tough it out.
You got to wear that hat, Skip.
I know.
You got to wear that hat because anytime a player of this nature leave New Orleans, the likelihood of them ever getting a player like that again.
So, Matt, what do you make of all this?
That's tough. Camp.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Normally a camp shouldn't have a voice in an organization, but when that camp, one of the people in that camp is the agent of Anthony Davis. You know, the camp has a voice. It's an unfortunate situation. You know, knowing Luke, playing with Luke, he's a great basketball mind, but I think he knew stepping into this Laker chair, but I call it the hot seat from the jump. You're going to be scrutinized every single day. The best is never good enough. And, you know, at any given time, it could be your day. So it's an unfortunate. I really hope that, you know, he gets a chance to continue to develop this team. If they pick up a big free agent, get to continue to coach that and just give him a chance. I think too often we expect magic in a bottle to happen that fast, and sports isn't that way anymore.
Have you heard anything from any? You keep in touch with a lot of the current players.
I've heard, outside of the camp, not necessarily from the players. You know, I haven't heard anything from the players, and like I said, I haven't heard anything from, you know, LeBron's mouth per se that I have a problem with Luke. Like I said, for about 2 months now, I've heard LeBron's camp has not wanted Luke. They're still in, like I said, normally they wouldn't have a voice, but for this instance, they do have a voice from the standpoint of the connections they have.
Well, that voice is going to get louder because of the Anthony Davis connection. But the one thing that Luke Walton has in his corner, he has Jenny Buss camp in his corner.
Very big.
So it's been reported that Magic would like to see someone else coach this team.
Yep.
But Jenny Buss gave him the Heisman pose and still farmed that idea. So at the end of the day, Skip Bayless, you know, there are a lot of camps, and I want him out and I want him back. But the lady's name that's on the check, she trumps everybody. Now, it's going to come a time where I'm sure Magic and Rob Pelinka is going to go upstairs and they say, Jenny, in order for us to get Anthony Davis, this is what's going to have to happen. Because what transpired is that it came to know that they could have had Boogie Cousins for Brandon Ingram. And once Jenny, so what? We could have had Boogie for Brandon, and y'all said no. Oh, you got to go. I don't think Jenny's going to make that mistake. You got a chance to get Anthony Davis, and the trade-off is the head coach got to go. Well, who else does he want to go? You want the janitors to go. You want the cheerleaders to go. Because if you want that, if we can get Anthony, Skip, that's generational talent. The guy's 29, 13, 29, 14, 4.5, 2. And he's 25.
How old is he?
25.
Oh, he's a baby.
25.
26 in March.
25, Skip. So guess what? That camp,
Talk to you later.
that camp or camp 5 is getting bigger.
It's getting bigger.
Yeah.
One other lady in this equation is Jackie McMullen, who reported this, who I've known forever, and she is highly respected, so I'm going to take this to my personal bank.
Absolutely.
There's something going on here where there's lots of smoke. There's at least a little bit of fire that's getting bigger and bigger. And obviously, Magic didn't hire Luke.
No.
Obviously, LeBron didn't choose Luke because Luke was just already there when LeBron chose Magic and L.A. and the Lakers. That's what he chose. And if his camp is not happy, then I'm going to have to believe LeBron is not happy, not completely sold on Luke. And I don't know why, but I've said again, I'm a Lonzo fan. Lonzo has never clicked with Luke, and I don't know that factors into this equation, but it's always been an uneasy sort of coexistence between Lonzo and Luke. Now, whether Lonzo would be part of a trade that would send him to New Orleans, highly possible, but it hasn't been roses with Luke from the start here. And I go right back to moment number 1 between Magic and LeBron when he knocked on LeBron's door up in Brentwood, not too far from here. He was not accompanied by his head coach. And in other circumstances, he would be accompanied by his head coach because that would be a big part of the equation. Well, I got it.
Skip, you know how it is. Come along.
Come along.
And if I'm a CI, if I'm a confidential informant, and I tell you I got some information, but come along.
First of all, I'm not talking to you, but go ahead.
Yeah. So guess what? Magic smart. He was out there an hour early. Magic said he was sitting in the driveway an hour early.
Wait.
Stretching.
But in other circumstances, you know and I know, if it's Greg Popovich, you know, he's going to be in attendance.
I tell you what, if LeBron James said, Greg, I want you to come to my Beverly Hills. I want you to come to my Brentwood estate. And I want you to be alone. I don't want R.C. Buford with you. R.C. Buford ain't coming. Anthony Davis says, I want Danny Ainge. If these power brokers, and that's what LeBron James, and that's what these Anthony Davis, that's what they are. If they say come alone, I'm driving. I ain't even getting Uber because I don't even want them to know where I'm going. I'm driving.
But if you're doing the Boston example, you know Brad Stevens he's going to be there for the long haul.
If Anthony Davis say, I tell you what, Danny Ainge, I want you to come along. What you think the chances of Brad Stevens going to be in that meeting?
I'm just saying, Danny Ainge loves Brad Stevens.
Yeah, he don't love
That is true.
But then another standpoint, too, I mean, has it ever been like a great situation for LeBron and whoever his coach has been?
No.
You know what I mean? So
I know what happened to David Blatt.
Yeah,
Well, he deserved it.
And I'm not even saying whatever the
disagree.
situation may be. Like, we don't really know the inside stories of anyone's, but to me, like, the coach is kind of just whipped cream in any LeBron situation. He's never really the cake. You know what I mean? So, like I said, Magic is, the overall force here. But like you said, he has Genie in his corner, so that bodes well. But you just never know. Like he said, if Anthony Davis is only going to come if Luke is gone, well, then unfortunately, I think Luke is a casualty of war.
Yeah,
He would be. And remember Ty Lue during the playoffs last year, that one time that he was asked, how would you describe what it's like to coach LeBron? And he just dropped his head for a second and just shook it like it wears you out. It's a hard job.
Because here's the thing. Unless you're Popovich, unless you're Phil Jackson or Pat Riley, LeBron's going to think he knows just as much, if not more, than any other coach.
Because he does.
So with that big, who can coach him that's going to be on an equal footing? Steve Kerr, maybe?
Plus, he is the drama king because he's fueled by all the drama around him. He creates drama because it propels him. It doesn't propel the head coach.
But then also sometimes, too, like I said, I think LeBron gets heat for what his camp says or does. And those are grown men and making their own business moves. They might have to check in here and there. But for the most part, those are grown men. So I think sometimes he takes some unfair heat for his camp.
Okay, but his camp he grew up with. That's
There's
unusual.
no question, like I said, but they're still grown.
It's not like
they're still grown.
You hired these guys later in your career. They're part of you,
Yeah, I ain't got
right?
no camp.